Hello. Let me just get this sorted out. Hi, PDina. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you doing?
I'm brilliant. Thank you so much for coming. How have you been?
Pretty good. Just hanging in there, doing what I do and just living life. How about yourself?
Oh yeah, great. Just getting on with things, working hard. It's funny how me and you did our last live together, and it was like breaking news. And then today as well, what's come out is the Valentine's collection. Have you had a chance to look at that?
I've been working on my charity work all day, so now I'm in my PDina mode.
Okay.
I was so
Oh no, my internet again.
Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you.
The internet went. Are we back? We're back.
Okay, yes.
Okay, perfect. Right. Okay.
I can hear you now.
Okay. So you haven't had a chance to have a look.
No, I actually was just getting ready to sit down and start checking out. I did see like the post that she made on her Instagram, so I did see the post.
Yes,
but I wanted to just look at some other things that you wanted to talk about, so we can talk about that. Whatever. I mean, I'm good.
Well, it's nothing special, as we know anyway. It's
Pretty
never really. So she's getting it ready for Valentine's Day, and she's done a big build up to it. I can share it on the screen. Just bear with me a second. So, funnily enough, as well, was the jam called jam before on the label? Was it always jam or was it spread?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know which one she officially went by.
Let me have a look. So if you have a look at the screen, if we go to shop now at the collection, so say I love you with something sweet, because yes, we all buy jam for our Valentine, don't we?
Of course, that's the go-to product.
Always jam, but I don't remember it being called spread.
Yeah, I don't either, to be quite honest with you. Anything she can do to keep that alive. I mean, it just seems like such a weird thing to even make it looks like it's like her anchor product. Like this is her product that is supposed to be for everything on her website. This is like the main product, right? So, I just don't understand how you can even try to make this part of your branding, your model, because it seems so odd to sell just, a spread, a jam, whatever. It just doesn't make sense. But I did hear a report that Meghan decided to make this one of her flagship products is because it was one of the highest selling products from the royal family. And so from their gift shop, the items that were selling the most was an influence for Meghan to start with this as her go-to product.
Well, I mean, it's I suppose it's a sort of could be deemed as a staple at home, but jam and spread are very different things. There's a lot more effort that goes into jam. Spread is kind of almost like a watered down version of the jam. And I'm pretty sure if anyone in the comments can tell me if it was called jam before, I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was jam. Thank you. Yes. So she's got the feedback that actually this product is not marketable as jam, because it wasn't. The reviews of it were that it was too watered down for that to be a jam. I know it's we're looking at semantics here, but you can't sell something that isn't the actual product. So she's had to change the name of it to spread. And that's why I looked at that label and I thought, hold on a minute, that I'm sure.
Okay. So she
It's
had to
just
do
like,
that to, yeah, make it what
well,
it
I
is.
mean, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Is the internet okay with you? Are you getting me sort of?
Everything is fine, but you know what? Let me close out some windows here because I know it can get a little slow the more windows I have open. And like I said, I just got done working, so I had a lot of windows
No,
open.
you're okay. It's not helpful. My internet. I've got a new internet coming this week, and we get full fiber. So fingers crossed, everything will work.
There you go. There you go. Gotta have that high speed internet.
Exactly. It's not working for me anymore. So, okay, let's talk about Sundance. Let's move on from this as ever. I know that with the Valentine's products that she's putting out, it's really not remarkable. So it's not worth talking. It's not worth talking about.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at her products, it just is not inspiring at all. It
No,
really
no.
isn't, and I feel very bored with her as ever products. It's like, okay, you're trying to sell your spread now, okay. And
Yeah, no, and I agree, and I think what is the purpose of this? It's not Valentine's. Do something a little bit more extravagant, pick it up,
yeah,
give us something a little bit more juicy. This is Valentine's Day. I don't know of anybody that buys jam or spread for
right.
Valentine's Day.
Exactly. Why not chocolate? Like, isn't chocolate supposed to be
Yes,
for
yes,
Valentine's Day or
an
whatever? Oh, Lizzie B
aphrodisiac.
is
Yeah.
here. Hi, Lizzie B. Lizzie B is here.
It's meant to be like an aphrodisiac, right? So you're meant to sell something that's going to get the juices flowing, get you
Right.
excited. It's a love day. I just don't equate spread to Valentine's. Let's put it that
Not
way.
at all. Not at all. It's like such a side eye moment.
Yeah,
It's like,
hundred
really?
percent. Yeah, 100%. So we'll just skip over that for now because I think there's not much we can say about spread, really. There's
Yeah.
only so much you
Let's see
can
what else she
say.
decides to do around her spread.
Do
Yeah.
you do you think she will bring out any more products this month? Or do you think this is kind of it? Because we've got the Valentine's Day collection, so I'm guessing she's kind of done now until maybe March.
I don't know that well, I know she has talked about it in the past, bringing out more
Yeah.
products, things when she did the Bloomberg interview and
Mm.
trying to transition over to other things around, things that complement these items that she has. So it could be a number of different things. I think she almost would have to bring out other products if she wants to remain interesting. I mean, how many things can you do around selling your jam spread or whatever? Like, what can you do? She has to start making things a little bit more and more frequent, I think, just because we already know this product. Will she introduce something new to remain fresh? I think you would almost have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very tiresome. It's nothing new, nothing exciting. It's almost like she's keeping it ticking over, and
Mhm.
maybe waiting for some inspiration.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think maybe potentially after the Sundance and this cookie movie, do you think that she will maybe release some Thin Mints because they're her favorite?
Yeah, that might be a way to go. I mean, Megan's got a lot of work. I thought I had a
Yeah,
lot of work, but Megan has got a lot of work to do because I just don't see how you can get momentum. If you couldn't do your Netflix show that will help you with the momentum, because we already know that her Netflix show has been canceled. There's not going to be a season 3. If
yeah,
you can't have something high profile as that to help propel your products, your as ever, I find that this is going to be very difficult for her to get momentum behind these products to do what she's trying to do. I think at this moment it's
Mm,
just saving face, trying to see what she can do at this point. I just don't see it going anywhere. I really
mm,
don't. And unless she were able to get a bunch of celebrities to do some clever marketing campaign behind her products to get everyone talking about it. Like, how do you make this interesting? I don't see how you can, you know? So I don't
mm-mm.
think Megan has been able to hit the mark as she had envisioned in her head. Like, I don't see that.
And going back to that as well, you know, I remember I did actually watch your video on the Valentino uh, funeral, and
Mhm.
her wanting to be there, wanting to be part of, you know, the A-list celebrities, and was trying to
Mhm.
basically get a ticket to
Yes.
the funeral, and she
Mhm.
was snubbed, and
Yeah.
wasn't invited, even though she has connections with Valentino's old director.
Right.
Um, what happened there? Why was she not? Why was she elbowed out of that?
I think Megan was elbowed out only because people can see Megan coming a mile away. They know her intentions. They know why she wants to be in this circle of these high profile fashion
Mm,
icons. And they don't
mm,
see that. I think they don't want someone who is a somewhat of a user or a um, like someone who is just trying to find opportunity to show up during a time that they're really hurting from his death. And
mm,
it's the last thing you want to see coming is someone who is there to market themselves to be seen with the, you know, certain people, because that's a slap in their face because they're in mourning. And if you
mm,
weren't in his circle prior to coming to the States and, you know, being in this industry, why are you showing up now? Okay, you can show up
mm,
now, you can try to be a part of this
mm,
industry, but you gotta do the work. You can't just
mm.
show up and get invited to
Yeah,
a fashion week in Paris and think
mm,
that, okay, you're now on the in
yeah,
crowd. And I think that's
yeah,
what Megan thinks. She thinks this is her being with the in crowd, being invited or showing up at Paris Week, but a fashion week in Paris. So Megan has assumed a lot of things that are not necessarily how other people see them. You know, celebrities are very attuned to users, and Megan is just someone
mm,
who is a user who has access to a husband that can open doors where she can actually contact these people now. Doesn't mean they're going to be accepting of you,
yeah,
right? And so I think she
mm,
just misjudged a lot of things around that. And they're not dealing with someone like Megan during this very sensitive time. It's not like it's a wedding. It's not like it's someone's big birthday. This is a funeral. People are
mm,
emotional, they're
yeah,
hurting. And that's the last
yeah.
thing that they want to have to deal with.
But do you not think this, a lot of the time it's an opportunity for people to connect? Like, so I feel
It is.
like even, yeah, so even is the love kind of superficial when it comes to these star-studded funerals, because everybody who knows everybody will be there, and it's almost a way of doing business at a funeral. I know that's a very crass thing to say, but I
Mhm.
kind of see it like that when I see people that haven't maybe seen him for years. He was 93, remember? And
Mhm.
I think there are a few people that come out of the woodwork that hadn't actually seen him for quite some time, but they wanted to be there because they knew others that were like-minded would be there, similar to that of what Megan wanted to do.
Right. I mean, I
But
see your point.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
I see your point, but what I'm saying is okay, maybe they hadn't seen him, Valentino, for a long time, but they had a relationship with him. Megan didn't. She just knew people that knew Valentino. Like, she did not have that relationship. It's not
yeah,
like, you're going to see old mates of people that you used to work with, because,
yeah,
he was so old, right? He was probably not doing a lot in these last years, and then you see people that you used to work with. Oh, so and so is here, and so. Okay, we want so and so to be here. But Megan
mm,
has no business with these people whatsoever that goes back years. She doesn't have that association. And I think,
yeah,
if anything, people are sick of people trying to leech off of their success. Megan has to do the work. I don't think people are saying that she'll never be a part of the it crowd or the A-lister crowd. I think it's about, paying your dues. And Meghan started to pay her dues when she was doing her work as an actor. She was trying to be a mover and shaker. And I would say she had pretty good
Yeah.
success with trying to do a wide variety of different things. But Meghan has to show herself kind of at the bottom again. Just because you married the handbag doesn't mean you're going to automatically get opportunities. You still have to prove yourself. And I think people respect that when they see you trying to show humility and to show that you're okay. I'm going to work my way up again. I may have access now. I may be able to open up certain doors, but I'm going to humble myself enough to really just do the work. And that's, I think, what people respect. That's what people want more than anything. And Meghan, I don't think feels that she needs to do that. She feels entitled. And that's a slap in the face to a lot of people. Like, they're not going to just open up doors for you because you married this handbag who's not even, going to be in line to the throne. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think people,
Yeah.
that's what they're doing.
I think you're right as well, because I think she thinks she's got an automatic leverage once she marries Prince Harry, that she could just have all these doors open to her and this instant access to connections. And when she's snubbed, I feel like it boils up more of a resentment inside of her. And what happens is you hold on to a lot of hate and harbor a lot of kind of I don't know, it's almost like a vindictive personality. And I'm wondering if the more she's snubbed, are we going to see kind of the more of the mask fall off? Because it's very hard to hide that anger.
That's a good point. It's hard to say. I just don't see that Meghan will show much humility. I think if anything, she will find the right person that will align with her, that will maybe support her. I just don't know that she's capable of it. I think she is so entitled that she just thinks it's bound to pay off. She just has to keep trying and it will pay off. But I just don't know that will happen for her,
Because you were right as well, and I've said this for a long time. I said she's going to try and get her sticky fingers, her jam fingers, into fashion. That's going to be her next ammo. And I've always said it because the way she dresses, and she's very particular about what she wears and how she curates her look. And it's not necessarily to everybody's taste, but I see it in a way that it is from a designer's perspective. And I think that her pathway is going to be into designing clothes. I think that's her end goal. And like you said, is it going up straight up against Victoria Beckham? Because I can see that there's a bit of rivalry there between them two. Not so much Victoria, but Meghan is trying to aspire to be like Victoria Beckham. What do you think?
Yeah, I think because of what she did with the TIG. She talked about fashion on her TIG, right? So definitely she wants to get into fashion. I mean, I think she is going to try to rival anything that would have to do with the Beckham. She has a very, very sadistic. What's the word?
Sadistic, yeah.
She's vindictive. Like
vindictive, yeah.
Vindictive. Yeah, and and also we heard stories that her husband Harry has been giving advice to Brooklyn. So there's a rivalry there.
I've got some breaking news on that as well. So,
oh, you do? Okay.
Apparently, Harry, I'll just release it here. Harry is going to be helping Brooklyn do his tell-all book.
Oh, really?
Apparently so. This is what I've heard. It could be false.
So he's going to have a tell-all book that Brooklyn, that snotty-nosed brat of a child that doesn't know his place when it comes to what you have in life, and the audacity to do what he is doing to his parents is an abomination. This child is making some serious mistakes that are going to get him into a lot of trouble, because he is very high and mighty with his woman now. This woman that he has married, she's going to get him and has gotten him into a lot of trouble already. Brooklyn just doesn't know it yet. And yeah, he's going to write a book and say a lot of nasty things about his family. He'll live to regret it for sure. For sure.
Well, are they not all really good friends, right? Are they not? Apparently, Meghan and Harry and Brooklyn and Nicola are like really good friends because they have such a close relationship, because they've got so much in common when it comes to snubbing their parents, isolating their parents, and
Mhm.
victims, but basically being a victim to their champagne lifestyle. Do you think that's why they're best buddies?
I think so, and I think part of it is trying to befriend Brooklyn even more so now, so that
Yeah,
you can kinda take a dig at the Beckhams from before all of this happened, you know?
yeah,
So, uh, I just think it is one of those things where they're taking an opportunity to get one over on the Beckhams, and they're definitely going to befriend Brooklyn, and to try to make the lives of the Beckhams miserable by befriending Brooklyn in his delusion and his era, because that's what it is. He's an idiot. He is a fool. He is someone that doesn't know what his opportunities that were given to him by being in a child of very famous, wealthy parents. And I think children that act and behave like this are spoiled, rotten brats that need to be shown their place in life. And this
mm,
child, I'm sure he's had issues with his parents. Who doesn't? No parent is perfect, but you certainly don't
mm,
air your dirty laundry about your parents and everything that they have done for you to the world. And the fact that
yeah,
Harry has embraced this idiotic behavior shows you how dumb-minded Harry is in his delusion to think that you are making a good choice by befriending a child to go up against his
yeah.
parents.
And it's
It
very
shows so
weird,
much
isn't
about
it?
your character, Harry, to
Yeah,
even befriend this kid, to say what he is doing is okay. It shows how
yeah,
ignorant you are in life, the ways of
yeah.
life, you know? So it's ridiculous. I mean,
I, I,
Harry needs to be shown his place. And I think, if anything, the king needs to be very careful about trying to support Harry in this moment, because he's getting himself mixed up in all of this Beckham Brooklyn stuff, and that can't be good. That can't be good for your life as a expat living in America. It can't be good for your own brand, and you're wanting to help people and to be a humanitarian. You need to tell this Brooklyn to make better choices and not to do these things, because Harry has seen that his airing out dirty laundry was not a good thing. That's why he's backtracking on it. And so Harry,
mm.
from his own experiences of learning, he needs to tell Brooklyn this is not a good move. But he's not.
Oh, well, I think Harry incites hatred and incites toxicity, because what he's doing is he's basically doing they're like a carbon copy of
Mm-hmm.
Meghan and him, but they're just much younger and they're very naive, and I don't think they realise the consequences of their actions here, especially Brooklyn, because he's so young.
Mm-hmm.
By being so scandalous and outing his whole family's dirty laundry on social media, I think he'll come to regret that in the future, because is he being led by a woman that is trying to isolate him, just like Meghan has done with Harry, from his family?
Mm-hmm.
What sort of wife supports the isolation of you from your family? Well, look who we've got. We've got Nicola and we've got Meghan, and they're both doing that. They're both isolating their husbands from their family, and basically drip feeding what I perceive as evil
Yeah.
into their heads, and then they spout all this nonsense, and they're confused boys, really.
Yeah.
um and unfortunately for Brooklyn, he's not getting any guidance now. He's now in an echo chamber of hate, and if he's
Yeah.
surrounded by Meghan and Harry, he's not going to get any good advice whatsoever. And what I
No.
did hear is that Victoria is looking, potentially, allegedly, to send a cease and desist letter to Brooklyn, because she's so concerned about what he's going to voice next. What else is he going to say? Whether it's truth or lies or a bit of both, she's
Mm-hmm.
concerned for her brand. And so
Exactly.
do you think we're going to see a very similar situation like we have with Harry and Meghan, with a back and forth with the family?
Absolutely, but I hope that Victoria does do a cease and a cease and what's the word? Did you hear me?
Cease and desist.
Desist, yes. I
Yes,
hope he
sorry,
does
cease
do
and desist. It's this internet.
it's okay. I hope he does do that only because, or she does that because I think you have to show kids the hard way in front of the world, right? Because Harry did not have that happen with his family. I mean, look what he did with Meghan. Can you imagine what will happen if Brooklyn does that, and how he could damage the brand of the Beckhams? Like, that could be really damaging for their brand. It would be horrible. I mean, everything that they have worked for. Think about all the controversies that they have gone through. And then you have this old knucklehead child thinking he's going to make some way and show you as the parent. No,
Mm.
no, no, no. That cannot happen. That cannot
Yeah,
happen. It
it
could,
is.
but I hope not.
It is concerning because, I think you can put out a statement that doesn't have to go into too much detail, but he really went in on his mum, and to the point where he's made her look like she's almost a bit sort of incestual by talking about
Yeah.
an inappropriate dance,
Yeah.
and that it was erotic and somehow weird. If it was true, we would have seen this video footage from the wedding, because there were over 500 guests there.
Yeah.
So we
And
we would have,
it would have been a
yeah,
talking point at some point, right? This wedding was what, in 2022?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I just think he's just trying to find things to dredge up to say, okay, this is a problem, but not really having
yeah,
real problems. I don't think it's a
no,
legitimate issue because, I mean, Victoria just doesn't, personally, I don't see that in her personality. Um,
no,
I just find it so unbelievably disgusting to do this to a parent, especially a parent that has given you the world. I mean, you saw all the things that this boy has tried to do. He would never have gotten half the opportunities that he had he not come from this kind of a family. And then to turn around and treat your family like this is disgusting. And shame on Harry for buying into trying to help some wacky child like this. This is just crazy. Mm-mm.
I think he gets off on just having this kind of spouting hatred, and he's guiding somebody into the same situation that he's in, and there's always two sides to the story, and I do think this is like a champagne problem. You're moaning about Brooklyn's moaning about having to go to events and be there for the Beckham brand, and have
Mhm.
have to do a few jobs here and there. But in reality, a lot of people would die to be in this position, to have a family
Mhm.
that trademarks your name and gives you all these opportunities where you can step into any field of work that you want to and be successful. That doesn't happen for everybody. And
Yeah.
she's trademarked all of their names, and potentially he could take that trademark for himself. But I think there's the legalities around it where he has to own his own property, and he may have to take her to court to take his name, Brooklyn
Mhm.
Beckham. That could all be very kind of dirty and a big expose when, if that does come to fruition.
Mhm.
Are we looking? I think, are we looking at the same situation as Harry and Meghan? I think we probably are,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate, isn't it? Because they've got them in their ear as well, so it's
It's
insane.
just unbelievable.
Yeah, oh, because they're just drawn to each other like magnets. I think these
Yeah.
toxic people are drawn to each other, and that's what's happened in Hollywood. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's move on from that. I have, okay, so some interesting information about the Sundance and the cookies, and I think the premise of this film was to be kind of a soft, like, entrepreneurial video about how girls can be successful and manage their finances. And what's come to light, there's a bit more of a darker underbelly to it. Have you noticed that what's happened with this film? And it's kind of gone a bit sideways.
So what did you hear exactly about it? I mean, I've been reading some reviews and things, but I'm kind of curious to see it. But I don't know. It seems like it could go either way. I know that I heard that Meghan and Harry didn't have anything to do with it until after the film was already made, right?
Yeah.
So
do you know what? They hadn't even watched it, PDina. They hadn't even watched
they hadn't
the
even
film.
watched it at the
No,
premiere.
no, they didn't even know what it was about until they watched it at the premiere, and they've put their name to something that they actually don't know anything about, because there's a dark underbelly to this which completely conflicts to their online what were they doing for their online? They're protecting people, young children online.
Oh, their online narrative to social media.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically what it is, it actually, the underbelly of it is about the exploitation of girls. So they are advocates for online safety, for not exploiting children, but they put their name to a film that advocates the exploitation of girls. You can't make it up. I mean, would you not research this before you put your name to it?
That is very, very, very interesting, because if you think about it, when you have these girls competing to sell cookies, I can imagine that your online presence is everything. Everything.
Yeah.
Like, you have to really go all in with your social media, right? So did you have something there you can read about what the film
Well, I
does?
do. So I have a little kind of review here that I'm going to read. I've had to put it on my phone because I'm not going to be able to memorize it. Unfortunately, I don't have an eidetic memory. I would love to have one. So, and also I've got a little there was a Zoom interview with Meghan as well. Before we get into it though, what did you think of her answer to about Lily joining the Girl Guide? We call it Girl Guides here. I know it's Girl Scouts where you are.
You guys call it Girl Guides?
Well, some people are telling me it's Scouts. I've always known Scouts to be for boys here, but I never did any of that as a kid. But I didn't have that opportunity.
They call it Girl Scouts here too. They call it Girl Scouts.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure it's Guides here, but let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. So let me just find it. Okay. So Prince Harry. Okay, so I've got a bit of hit. Oh no, hold on. Okay, so the Hollywood Reporter didn't miss those nuances. Its reviews notes that girls can age out of cookie selling once they're no longer considered cute, effectively training children to understand that their appeal is temporary and transactional. As a reviewer bluntly observed, the film's lesson is inseparable from late-stage capitalism. Cuteness, like beauty for older women, is a commodity. One of the possessor can exploit to their own advantage. At the same time, the girls seem to absorb the guilt-tripping potential into customers is part of the game. In other words, smile, sell, and don't forget to weaponize pity. Okay. So they also talk about the fact that a lot of families get into debt. So what they do is they buy cookies because it's very competitive. And I didn't know this. They buy it because you know more about this than I do. 2000, because you do it more. Do you do it where you are?
Well, I never was in Girl Scouts. My daughter did it for a little bit. Yeah.
So apparently the families are going into debt. So there's a kind of a necessity to do it, but it doesn't necessarily mean every family can afford to buy them outright. I didn't realize you bought them outright first and then sold them. Yeah. Is that correct?
Well, the way we have done it, I know when I had family doing it, depending on the region where you are, they actually didn't have to buy their cookies. They got to order them based on the number of sales that they
Oh,
had.
okay.
But it could
Okay.
very well be where they're at, they have to purchase it up front and then sell it, because it makes it a lot more competitive when you know you have all this product you have to get moving. So I can imagine that that is part of how they would do it in some areas. Yeah.
Oh, are you still there? Sorry, this internet's terrible.
Oh, I'm here. Okay, yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, yeah. I hope. So yeah, they talk about the kind of like this struggle here, saying that despite that the Sussex showed up at the Sundance screening, smiling and clapping and basking in praise, they had no idea really what the premise of the film was about. Okay.
Mhm.
But she said that the film was not just adorable, but I think they've missed the layering to it. So I think that there's layers to the film. I don't think it's just about the dark underbelly of it and the
Mhm.
competitive side. I think that there's also other layers to it. So you've got the fact that it is an entrepreneurial film, and it shows how it's conducted and the tradition of it. So
Mhm.
there's a good part to it as well, but I think it's multifaceted, isn't it? And I
It
don't
is.
think that they've realised that they're putting their name to something which could potentially be quite controversial.
Mhm.
So that's the backlash that I'm hearing at the moment. And I think she also did a Zoom call with, let me have a look. So she had a Zoom interview with Hollywood trade magazine Variety.
Mhm.
And she just gave some feedback on the film, and I think she's trying to sort of cover this up. So she was asked which two of the subjects, being from California, Meghan, what made you nostalgic? And she said, especially now as a mother of a daughter, there's a very different lens that you're witnessing it through. And of course, being reminiscent of my own experience of having a Girl Scout in California, but I loved how varied and diverse the casting is. I love that you see some of these families that are what they are sacrificing to give their daughters these opportunities. So she's putting a spin on the
Mhm.
sacrificing and maybe
Mhm.
the aspect of the debt. And on the flip
Yeah.
side, some daughters were pushing themselves more than their parents would ever push them, and how this is ingrained so early on. So she's talking about being dedicated to work, where in reality, do these girls really want to do this? I don't know. You can tell me. I don't know how. Is it very popular? Is it something that's done all the time in America?
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
pretty popular. I know kids, they get introduced to it a lot of times through their school,
Mm.
and it is popular, and parents may be very competitive and want their kids to I mean, I've seen a lot of parents out there helping their kids sell these cookies, so it's a family affair a lot of times. So, yeah, it can be very competitive.
Because and once you've sold the cookies, what actually happens? Because you get some, you win things.
You
You
get prizes. Yeah, you get to win
Yeah,
prizes, like pretty high price prizes. So there's a huge incentive. And the thing is a lot of people already know. Like I know for me, I have my favorite Girl Scout cookies. I love the Thin Mints.
yeah,
So people wait for them to come out a lot of times because they want to purchase their favorite Girl Scout cookies. It is like an American tradition here. So it's a pretty popular thing to do, that can oftentimes have the parents wanting to incentivize their kids to do it
yeah,
because it's you can win a lot of prizes from it
yeah,
and you get like certain prestige from it. So I have their
yeah.
girls that are always filling up at the local food market where I go to shop, and they're
Mhm.
always out there selling their cookies a certain time of the year. So
Yeah,
I always usually
yeah,
buy from.
yeah. So I suppose there might be some pressure around doing that for some. I mean, it depends on how pushy the parent is. If some
Yeah.
parents don't mind, but she goes on to say, "You see how multidimensional these young girls are." But also the dads, you get to see an image of fatherhood that I think is really powerful to have depicted in this day and age. So outside of mothers and daughters and grandmothers, but every single role that can play in a young girl's life that is going to empower and enable her to be a strong woman. And the role that fathers can play in that. It's just so great. And that's exactly how my husband, Prince Harry, is with Lily. It's a beautiful piece to include in the filmmaking, which the director made a point to have there. So she's always likes to refer back to how wonderful Harry is and how much he loves her. So it's interesting. She's trying to maybe put a bit of a spin on the negative reviews. But I have heard that Netflix won't pick it up, that they're not going to have it now. So I think originally they were going to. Yeah. So what's going to happen with the film?
Someone has to pick it up, right? I mean, it tells you a lot that no one has so far, and you have a name that is embarrassing. I mean, I think that could speak a lot to people not wanting to attach themselves to the Sussexes, or it could be that they don't want to attach themselves to this kind of a movie. I don't know. I think when you have people that are really trying to make a name for themselves, and you're not able to even get this picked up, that does not fare well for your brand, you know. So, and it's just embarrassing that they had nothing to do with this before it was even finished. Like, how do you attach yourself to something you know nothing about? I don't care who's directing it, I mean, and what if it is like really starkly going against what your brand is as a philanthropic person who has a message to send to people about X, Y, and Z, us, Harry, social media. Like, what if this film starts to go against what you've been talking about around social media, kids and social media? And I would almost imagine that it has to, because of the competitive nature. You know, every business has to involve itself in some form of social media for some kind of exposure. So I just don't understand how you can be someone like Harry and your message, or Meghan for that matter, around children and social media, and then support a film like this that more than likely is going to have a lot to do around kids and their social media aspect. I mean, we have to still wait and see. I don't know for sure, but I could imagine that it would.
I think it shows all the different variants to it. I don't think it's just a negative film, but I think it highlights all of the sides to selling cookies. And they haven't really looked at this properly and gone, oh, does this align with our media presence? Does this align with our brand? And it definitely doesn't if they advocate for safety online and not exploiting children. I just think, I'm like, what's going on? Oh my God.
It's like Meghan holding up that canning thing upside down, and she posted it. She posted herself holding that canning utensil upside down. Like, woman, stop.
It's also very similar to that of having the candle without the wick. You're not all there. It's not happening. What is going on? We've got space cadets in the house. I wonder why we've got space cadets in the house, because we all know what they get up to on a Friday and a Saturday night. They're having lots of party time. Oh, and then also, imagine this: they've got this big premiere. Half of the is it the Eccles Theatre? Half of the theatre was empty, right? Or the top part was empty. They
the balcony. A lot of people did not show up to see Harry and Meghan. That too. I mean, that gives you, I think, some really good insight into their brand and how it's transcended into like Hollywood in a very organic way. And I say that only because as they came to Hollywood and tried to do so many different things, they have failed people time and time again, where the word is out now about you. So much so that at the Sundance Festival, they are talking, and the people that go to that even know that they have to stay away from anything that you are attached to. I mean, I think it speaks volumes to Harry and Meghan's brand being tainted, being somewhat toxic, to not align yourself with it because of the stories, the things that have been said about you, the fails that you have had in your own uh, branding of things that you've done since being in Hollywood. You know, to me, if I find it speaks to you about how damaged they are truly as a
Yes.
brand when
Yes.
when you have people not even showing up to see your film. I mean, you imagine, think if it were William and Catherine introducing a film, people would be there alone
Yeah.
just to see
No.
them, right? You would be there. A lot of people would be there because you don't have this toxicity around Catherine and William like that, you know? So, you know, there are people that try to say negative things, yes, but I think Harry and Meghan's brand is so damaged that they can't even get people to want to even come see them. That is, to me, that's a wake-up call to get your butt out of Hollywood kind of a thing, because it's not gonna get better from here.
And it really does show the lack of popularity that they have. But also, I do think you just can't just walk into an industry and go, right, suddenly I'm a filmmaker, suddenly I'm a fashion designer, suddenly I am a brick and brack seller on As Ever.
Yeah.
I
Right.
have my own website and sell from Temu. It doesn't work like that. You have to build a reputation. You have to have some. You have to kind of start from the bottom in a lot of industries to gain the respect and to
Yep.
also have the working knowledge of how to do these things. I don't think
Yep.
she knows how to run a website. It's just kind of like, right, let's just do something without much thought in it. And then also, I mean, how do they know about advocating for online safety? How do they know about producing
Mhm.
films? It's
Mhm.
all kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Master
That
of
is
none.
what we have here.
Yeah.
And they're trying to really clutch at whatever they can get their fingers into and see if it sticks, like the pasta on
Mhm.
the wall, is it cooked? But they don't want to put the effort into the jobs that they're doing.
That's
And
right.
again, if you haven't watched this film before it's premiered, then you're lazy, you're inadequate, and you're not even present in
Right.
your own jobs, your
That's
own
right.
ventures. You're not even there showing up, putting in the work. And this is why Netflix have dropped them. And this is why no one wants to work with them. Um, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It's almost like Victoria Beckham when she started in the fashion industry. Like, that was one of the things that she knew she had to do. She had to really humble herself, learn from the best, and try to work her way up and to show herself worthy. You know, and you have to respect a person that is willing to work hard and to not have a diva-like attitude. And I think Megan would do herself a world of good to show some humility at this time in her career, her life, because at this point, the word is out on her and it can't get much better.
Mm,
It just can't.
no, no. And she has got a bad reputation for who she's around and who she works with. I mean, what do you think the future is at the minute for them after this appalling premiere? It all went south. The tickets sell for quite a lot as well, don't they? And
Yeah.
it kind of just shows that nobody's willing to pay to see them. What do you think the future is for them this year? If you could predict their future.
If I could predict a future, this is what I see happening. I see Harry going back to the UK, Meghan temporarily going back, but then leaving again. I know that there were talks of Meghan going back to the UK, but she is so gung ho on her life in Hollywood that I cannot see her leaving. And I think, if anything, this is the year that will speak to the true future of Harry and Meghan and their relationship, because Meghan is trying to, this is like her make or break year. It has to be. I mean, they have so many fails. Like, you have to have a win at some point. And Harry, we know he wants to go back. There's no way he
Yeah.
is going to continue
Yeah.
staying in California, trying to now go back to be in the UK with his family. I mean, his
Mm,
father is ill. He does
yeah.
not want his father to pass away without getting to know his children. So this is a very pivotal year for Harry and Meghan's relationship, for what their
Yeah.
future is going to hold, and I
Mm,
think also for Meghan and her career. It's very
yeah.
pivotal. So
I
we'll
think
have to wait
she's
and see.
I think you're right. I think that she wants to be in Hollywood, and he really doesn't. I think he's sick of it. If you see pictures of him at Sundance, he looks very disheveled, very kind of tired, and
Yeah.
she's more concerned about being there than supporting him in court. And she wanted to be at Valentino's wedding far more than she did want to be by his side through his testimony. And I think that is a big kind of red flag. Her main
Mhm.
focus is the drive and ambition to get to the top of Hollywood and step over everybody.
And step
And
over everybody. That's right.
and meanwhile, he just wants a quiet life. He's had enough. He
He's
just
like,
wants
he's
to.
like, woman, what are you doing? I want to go back to the UK. Why are we doing these things around these films in Hollywood? Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to associate with these films. I want to
No.
go back. And Megan's like giving speeches and saying we're doing this and we're doing like two people on different paths. If I have ever seen, I don't know what is, but this is not a couple that is aligned in purpose. I say it all the time on my channel, and this is
Yeah.
so defining for me that they are
Mm,
definitely on separate paths.
yeah.
And it's
It's
going to get complicated. It gets even more complicated when there are children involved. That's what makes it
yeah.
even more complicated for them, because Meghan
Yeah.
wants one thing for the kids, Harry wants another. And like,
Yeah.
how do you make it work when you both want different things and you only have these children that are part of both of you, allegedly, right? So
Mhm. I
it's
think you're right. It's
complicated.
it's taking its toll on him more so, and I do think there's that pull, not really knowing where he wants to be, because he was initially brought up as a humanitarian and a person of the people, whereas she's looking for fame, success, and something to massage her ego. It's very
Yeah,
conflicting for the both of them,
yeah,
and really that marital relationship just doesn't work in the end. It will eventually break down and disintegrate, and we're going to maybe see her, and I've said this for a long time, I think she's been keeping records of him and his behavior,
yeah.
and she's quite calculated, so I do think that he might be staying just to protect his own reputation, maybe,
Yeah.
but how long can that go on for?
This is going to be the year. I'm telling you, this is going to be it for them. Harry has a lot to think about, a lot of choices to make. I
Yeah,
just don't
he
know how he
does.
can move forward.
Oh,
I
and just
don't.
before I let you go, because I know you've got to go, I just wanted to ask you about Kim Kardashian on
Mhm.
Chloe's podcast,
Uh-huh.
and that when she said about being the party crasher, we all kind of said, "Oh yeah, that she's crashed because they only stayed for 10 minutes, and she wasn't dressed for the occasion. She looked like she'd come from an office meeting or something like that. She wasn't glam." So
Mhm.
what do you make of that? Do you think that's a solid confirmation that they did crash the party?
I believe so. I do. I absolutely do. I listened to that and I just thought that is so clear cut to what that was. I mean, and it's so aligned with what she would do, something like that, you know. But speculation,
Yeah,
right? I mean, I think.
yeah.
I
Well, it seems to be the case anyway, and I think that they really are trying to clutch on the last legs of their Hollywood lifestyle. But listen,
absolutely.
I appreciate you so much, PDina, for coming on. I love you. I think you're the top royalty of royal coverage. So I really appreciate you doing this with me.
Thank you
And
so much, sweetheart. I'm
I
Victoria. It's such a pleasure.
hopefully we can do it again soon, because this was fun.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um,
We will for sure. And thanks
okay.
to everybody that showed up today. Thank you so much for being here. And
Yep.
I'll see
Thank
you
you,
in the
guys.
video tomorrow. I'll be putting out, but today I will have to kind of go back to work, but
Yeah.
I will be
Yeah.
putting out a video tomorrow.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for that. And sub to us if you can. Hit the like buttons and Lots
a
of
like
love. Oh,
button.
we've got
Oh,
we've
there's
got a
somebody just
lovely.
one
Oh,
second.
thank
You
you
just
so
got a Lizzie
much.
B. Oh, thank you, Lizzie
Oh,
B.
absolute,
Lizzie
absolute
B is
beaut.
the
Thank you,
best. Oh,
Lizzie. Yeah, I love
yes, and
her.
I'll be live on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join me for my live this Thursday. Victoria, did you want to join me this Thursday?
I would love to, of course. Yeah, I'll be
Okay,
there. Oh, yeah. What
okay.
time again? What's that time for me?
5
I'll have to
p.m.
work
my
it out.
time, so the same
Oh,
as
10.
today. Yes, and
Absolutely
thank you,
perfect.
Lizzie
Oh, and
B.
we've got and you've got, oh, there you go.
Thank you,
There you
Lizzie B.
go.
You're
Love,
such a
love you
sweetheart. Thank you.
guys in the side chat. You've been amazing. I'm so sorry I couldn't read at the same time. Can't multi.
We'll see you guys on
Thank you
Thursday.
guys.
Okay.
Take
Bye.
care. God bless. Night night. Bye 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 bye. Bye everybody.